Hi guys, good morning. Recording has been started. Hope my voice is clear.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay. So in today's session, we'll discuss Maven compilation as well as how to store the artifacts in the artifact repository and how can we create notifications. And then our last job that will be for the continuous deployment. Okay. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
yes,
Right.
yes.
So how many stages we have executed? We have executed two stages till now, right? So one is git clone and one is SonarQube integration. So yesterday we were seeing some issues while working on SonarQube integration. That was because of the Java dependency. Okay, so once we have updated the Java, right here, if you'll see this is my Jenkins server. Let me refresh. Okay, here if you'll see, can you see this? After setting up Java 17 version, we were able to successfully build our job. Here if you see this job, vProfile. My server is quite slow today. Okay, here if you see this build number 5. I have taken Ubuntu server to set up Jenkins. Okay, this is very slow. Even that is T2 medium, but still it is very slow. Okay, here if you see this, it is successful and our analysis has been successful and the reports are being pushed to the SonarQube server. Okay, this is my SonarQube server. Here we have our reports. If I'll open this report, then we can find different issues in our code. Okay, but overall the quality has been passed. Okay, and if you see the overall code, we can see this. The code coverage was around 17.5%, which has been checked, and we have 4 security hotspots and all. Okay, for example, if your code coverage is failed, if this is failed, then what will happen? Your pipeline will get failed, and we are going to send these details to the development team because they are the one who are working on this quality of the code, right? So they will be helping us to fix these issues. Okay, now once our code coverage is completed, so I want to integrate my pipeline with Maven. So what Maven will be doing, Maven will help us to compile the source code and create a package for us. So what do you mean by compilation? Compiling the source code. If you'll see this source code, so vProfile, right? So this is my source code vProfile. Okay, so this is how it is looking. Means it has some reference files, whatever the developers has created, everything is stored in this repository. Now I don't want to share this source code with anyone. So what I want to do is I want to compile the source code and create a package. For Java based application, most commonly we are going to see Maven as our build tool. Maven is nothing but one build tool which is available. Apart from Maven, we have different build tools. Okay, we have Maven, we have Ant, we have Gradle. Okay, so these three, I mean, we have different build tools. Out of this, for Java based applications, we are going to use Maven as our build tool. We can also use Gradle, but that's okay if you have understanding of at least one build tool. Okay, in our use case or in our project, if anyone is asking you in the interview which was the build tool you were using, then you can answer as Maven. Okay, so with the help of Maven, what I will do, I will be trying to compile my source code and create a package for us. So how many type of packages are available? Package, how many type of packages are available? So we have jar package, we have var package, and we have AAR packages. So we have three type of packages. One is jar, one is var, and one is EAR. Okay. So now if you'll see this example, jar, var, EAR packages. Okay. If I'll open this image, can you see this? We can find the differences. Means this is something. Let me open this image. Okay. So jar package will contains the files like .xml and all the class reference files of Java based application. Do not worry about what is XML .class files and all. Okay, so just understand that if suppose you are creating one var package, it means that by default it is also having jar packages. If you are creating EAR package, it means that by default it is having var packages as well as jar packages. Okay, so if we are creating EAR packages, it means that we are also having var and EAR, sorry, jar packages, whatever files which are required for this package, right? So all the packages are compiled in the EAR. Okay, now who is going to decide which package should be created? If you'll see this document here in the source code, we have something called pom.xml. If I'll open this pom.xml, okay, we have a lot of stuff here. This is some kind of code. So who is going to decide here? If you see this packaging, var packaging, what should be the artifact ID? What should be the version? And what are the different dependencies used for this source code? Okay, so this file we are going to get from the developers. pom.xml file we are going to get this from the developers. So developers will provide this file, and based upon the details only the package will get created. Here if they are mentioning about var package, it means a var package is going to get created. Okay, so what do you mean by pom?
It's the file.
Object model, it is a file which will contains other details, compile the source code. Example, package type, artifact ID, artifact version, and dependencies. Okay, sorry. So this file we are going to get from the development team, and this file will contain all the details like package type, artifact ID, artifact version, and dependencies which are required for our application. Means if you want your application to be run, then these are the dependencies which are required. Okay, so now once we get okay, in our case we have got the pom.xml, we have got all the source code as well. Now what we are going to do, we want to integrate our Maven. So where will we going to integrate? For example, this is my Jenkins. Okay, in this Jenkins we have the job called vProfile. Means in this Jenkins server only this job is getting created. So I will be integrating Maven in Jenkins only. Means I will be installing Maven in Jenkins server. Similar to what Sonar Scanner. Sonar Scanner where we were setting up Sonar Scanner in the same server, right? Okay, so now what I will do, I will try to go to my Jenkins server and install Maven. Okay, so let me go to this server. This is my Jenkins server, cd opt, Maven download. So here we have this 3.9.6 file. Let me copy this star file, copy link address, and then duplicate. Okay, so this file is downloaded. Now let me untar this file or extract verbose file Apache Maven. Okay, so this file is extracted. Now here if you'll see this cd Apache Maven, okay, this is where our Maven is set up, means in this location. Now if I'll do mvn version, it should display the Maven path, but here we are not able to get anything. Why?
Is it in open?
We need to specify the path, means we haven't used apt install Maven, right? So what we have did, we have downloaded the package. So what I will do, I will export this variable. Let's hyphen cd opt Apache Maven. Here if you'll see this, let me just switch to this location first. Okay, here if I'll do mvn version, mvn okay, let me try to install this without using the packages. If you don't want to install this, what we can do, we can use the plugin and we can use the install automatically option, but that is not recommended. We should always have the specific version in our machines. Right now if I'll do mvn version, then we can see Maven 3.6.3 version is installed. Okay, and this is the location where it is been configured. So let me copy this location. Now what I will do, I will go to my Jenkins and I will tell my Jenkins that use Maven from this location. I'm trying to tell my Jenkins where is my Maven configured. My Jenkins server is quite slow, so try to bear with me. And then we have tools. Then we have Maven. Okay, so instead of using install automatically, I want to set up my Maven. Okay, so I will be writing the name as Maven underscore home, and I will remove this option, and this is my Maven location. Okay, so once this is done, let me click on save. Okay, let me go to dashboard. Let me go to my job again. Any job, we profile or simple customer based app. So both are Java based applications. So we can execute same process. So this is the standard how we are going to configure. Means for any Java based application, we are going to have 4 different stages. Overall 6. Fifth one will be flag notification. Sixth one will be email notification. So we need to explain all these stages in interview. Okay, so these two jobs, what it will do, stages, it will send out the notifications, right? So what is happening, whether our job is successful, failed, or what happened. Yesterday we have seen couple of triggerings, right? So if I'll open team, then Shravani has integrated something. Okay, someone has integrated some messages. If I'll open team B, Isa has did this. Isa Modi. Okay, so instead of logging into the Jenkins console and checking the status of job, with the help of these integrations, we will be able to understand what happened with our job, whether it has been successful or failed. And if you want to check the complete details, then you can click on open and it will redirect to that particular URL. See 54 221 134 32 colon 8081. Okay, so that's how we are using these Slack notifications. Let us see this. So we have our V profile. Let me open this. Let me go to configurations. So we have two different stages currently. One is git clone, second is SonarQube. Now the third stage will be Maven compilation. In previous sessions, what we have did, we have used sample.var example, right? I mean, we used to download this var package from this so and so website. So because they have compiled that source code, and what they have did, they have stored the package in this particular link. That's the reason we were able to download the packages. In our case, we are going to create our packages. Okay, so scroll down and then we have build steps. Let me remove this. Okay, so this is our SonarQube scanner, and then add build step. Click on invoke top level Maven targets. So this is what we are going to use. Click here. So Maven version, which version we have already configured, right? So I am using MVN underscore home. Then we have something called goals. Goals are very important. With the help of goals only, it will execute our stage. So here what I'm doing, I'm using clean install. We have different goals in Maven. We'll talk about goals after some time. Okay, so for now I'm using one goal called clean install. So what this goal will do, this will try to delete the existing files. If there are any existing packages, then it will try to clean that packages, and it will install will help us to create one new package for us. Package in the sense that var or jar package. So in our case, a var package is what we are expecting. So once we are passing this, click on save. Okay, click on save and click on build now. So this will be build number 6. So how many stages we have configured? Git clone to download the source code, SonarQube to check for the quality of the code, and then Maven compilation to create one package for us. Okay, so this was our third stage. So let us see what will happen. Comparing to SonarQube, this is very easy. So you will not see much issues. Okay, so here if you see this SonarQube stage is successfully completed, execution successful, then it is trying to use this particular location, Maven home, right? So user share Maven, and then it is trying to execute the goal. Okay, once this command is executed, what happened? It is scanning for some projects, downloading from central. So what is this? From where it is trying to download? Okay, see, it is trying to download some dependencies. If I scroll down, here we have something called .m2. This is very important, guys. .m2. Okay, since we are using clean, it is trying to delete the existing packages. Okay, and then it will download lot of dependencies. It is downloading. If I scroll down, it is downloading lot of dependencies. Once all the dependencies are done, then we can see failure. Okay, let me check what happened. View profile, okay. So what happened is when we have executed that command, it has started downloading all the dependencies from one repository called central. Means in Maven we have three type of repositories. One is central, one is remote, one is local. Okay, so how many type of repositories are there in Maven? We have three type of repositories. So you can store either your files in the local repository or in the remote or in the central repository. So by default we haven't stored anything in these two. Then it is trying to download all the dependencies from the central repository. Okay, so how this is going to understand which dependencies should be downloaded? Because of the pom.xml. If I'll open this pom.xml, okay, here we have a lot of dependencies written, right? So all these dependencies it is trying to download from the central repository. Okay, now apart from that, if suppose you don't have any internet access to your Jenkins server, so what will happen? If you don't have internet access to your Jenkins server, then your Maven cannot download the dependencies from the central repository. In this case, what we are going to do? We are going to download the dependencies and store the dependencies in the local repository. Means .m2 directory. This is very important directory, part of Maven. Okay, .m2 directory. This will be asked in interviews. What is a directory? I mean, what is the important directory, or what is .m2 directory? Okay, so here if you see this job, if I scroll up, It is our dot m2. Okay, here you can see there is one directory where it is available inside varlib jenkins dot m2, and then this is the repository. This is the local repository of Maven, where it will have all the dependencies. Okay, so if in central it is not available, then it will try to check for the local and remote repositories. Okay, so now apart from that, what happened? Our job got failed. Why? If I'll check this error, out of this log, I will be focusing on error only. Okay, I will be focusing on error. So let me scroll up. Here I can see there is some error. I mean, error is being injecting from here. So let me copy this. This is because of the dependency missings. Okay, our code is been almost 5 years old, and after 5 years the dependencies has been changed, the versions has been changed. Because of that we are seeing some issues. So let me use ChatGPT. Okay, once pasted here, it is asking us to check for the different dependency versions. So even I am not aware of this, right? So what I will do, I will just copy my pom.xml and I will give it to ChatGPT. Based upon this, it will try to evaluate. Pom.xml for the above issue. No, my ChatGPT is checking. This looks good. It includes the national package for a total basically working awards included. Okay, it says that nothing has been changed, everything looks good. So let me do one thing. Okay, so let me go to my Jenkins server, cd var lib jenkins cd workspace. Okay, let me delete this vProfile workspace manually and let me rebuild my job, because there might be some issue with the cache as well, so it is getting failed. So I have deleted my job and I am trying to rebuild my job. Okay, and let us see what will happen this time. Let me click on build now. Build number 7. Let us see. Build number 7, Sonar Cube has been successfully done. Here, if you'll see, if you'll scroll up, Sonar Cube is successfully done. And then it is trying to execute Maven. It is throwing some same errors.
Shabir, I think for Maven we need a dependent like Java 1.8.
No, but I have updated my pom.xml. I have already tested this. Okay, let me make one more change, final change.
Java 1.8 in Jenkins or something.
We can install Java 1.8 as well. I have updated my pom.xml to Java 17 version. What Ramya said is right. I mean, previously this code used to use 1.8 version of Java. But what I have did is I have updated my code to 17 version. Okay, so let me just make one more change. Let me go to the configuration. So after my git clone stage, what I want to do is I don't want to run SonarQube. My SonarQube stage should run third. Means my Maven stage should be executing second. Okay. So after my git clone, I want to install, I want to create package, and then my SonarQube should check for the quality. Okay. So that's how I have changed now. So let me save this. Let me go to my Jenkins server again. Let me delete this. I don't want any old data. Okay. And let me try to build my job. Guys, also remember one thing, always we are not going to follow this sequence only. Means first stage is git clone, second stage can be Maven compilation as well. Third stage can be SonarQube, or second stage can be SonarQube, third stage can be Maven. So we need to switch based upon the binaries what we are trying to pass or the resources. Okay, so I have built this job. Let me click on build number 8. Let us see what will happen. So now what is happening now? First stage is git clone, second stage is Maven compilation, third stage is SonarQube. Even now this is failing. Okay, let me change one more thing. Let me go to dashboard. Let me change the version of Maven. Let me use automatically install. Based upon that, we can set up our Maven version. Okay, so let me do this. I don't want to pass my Maven. I want my Jenkins to automatically install Maven and try to run my job. Let us see what will happen. Manage Jenkins. Tools. Okay, Maven installations. Let me delete this. Let me pass the path and let me use the latest version of Maven. What we have set up was 3.6. Now I'm using 3.9.6. Okay, let me click on save. Dashboard. V profile and then build. Now even the Jenkins is very slow. Okay, build now. Build number 9. If this is working, then it means that the issue was with the Maven version what I was trying to use. Now here if you'll see, this build has been successfully done, means the issue was with the version of Maven. Okay, so what happened, once my git clone has been done, then it checked for the pom.xml, and based upon the pom.xml, it has executed all the dependencies, and it has created my build. Here if you'll see this, where lib Jenkins workspace v profile, and then there is one file called target, I mean directory, and inside this target we have our var package. And if you scroll down, it is trying to execute our sonar cube, and this is also successfully completed. Okay, now if I'll go to my Jenkins server, ls v profile ll. Okay, here you can see there is one directory which is being created, target. If you'll see my source code, vProfile source code, do you guys see anything related to target? Do we have anything called target directory?
No.
No, right? So what happened? This target directory has been created only after compilation. Even if you'll see the timestamp, 648 it has been cloned, and sorry 644 it has been cloned, and 648 it has been created this directory. So all the var packages will be created inside this target directory. So this is how it has been generated. Okay, here you can see there is one var package, means our package has been compiled. Now I can deploy this package in Tomcat server. Okay, so here if you see this pom.xml, try to understand this. Okay, I mean this is our package name, this is my package name, vProfile, and this naming convention is being decided from the pom.xml. Okay, so if I'll open this pom.xml, then we have this vProfile iPhone, and then which version, v1, and then dot, and then extension is var, based upon the packaging type. So this is how the naming convention for this particular package is been getting decided, means our artifact ID, and then version, and then the type of package. Okay, so we were able to successfully create our package. Now next step is to, I want to store these packages in any of the artifact repository, means I don't want to store my packages Jenkins. What will happen if something goes wrong, and if my Jenkins workspace is being deleted, then I will be losing all the packages. Even if you want to change the version, right? So for the first time it is v1, second time I don't want to use same version, so you can edit this v1 to v2 or some other version. Or else if you want to use automatically, then you can use build number. Here let me just go to one more job, let me go to dashboard. If I'll go to simple customer app, configuration, okay, build steps, then we have this build step, clean install, and then SonarQube analysis, and this is my source code. Okay, so if I'll go to my source code, if you see this pom.xml, here we have the artifact ID as simple customer app, and then package is where, and then version is 1.0 snapshot. Okay, so what will happen now? Based upon that naming convention, based upon the pom.xml, my job will try to execute and create one package for us. In this case also we are using var packages only. Let me try to build now. If I'll open this console output, so we have two different applications. One is vProfile, one is simple customer app. Okay, so if I'll open this console, so here if you'll see, this build has been successfully done, and this is been created inside target, and this is the name of my artifact, this is the version, and this is the package. Let me use master because my code is been fetching from master. Okay, here if you'll see, this version is build number -snapshot. Earlier version what we have seen as some hard coded version v1, but here I have passed one parameter called build number, build number, and if you'll see the package name -6 and my build number is 6. If I'm triggering this job again, so what will happen? It will create one more package with the name called simple customer app -7 snapshot.var. So from where this is able to fetch the details means build number. If I'm passing something called build number, then how my Jenkins is been fetching these details? So there are some global variables. In Jenkins. Means this build number is a global variable, and this job name is also a global variable. We have some global variables in Jenkins what we can use, and we can call them at any point of time, at anywhere, in any job. Try to explore global variables of Jenkins. Okay, for example, Jenkins global variables. These are predefined. I mean, we haven't defined anything. These are already available. You can just call them if as per your requirement. One is build number, is job name. Okay, Jenkins global Okay, if I'll open this, you can find the default variables. Okay, so we have node name, we have job name, we have executor number, and then we have build tag, build ID, build number, workspace name, Jenkins home path, Jenkins URL, build URL, job URL. So these are the default variables which are available. So if you want to call them, then you can just use dollar symbol and call the variable. No need to write any code behind this. Okay, so that's what I have did in my pom.xml. Means every time if I'm trying to create one job, it should create with a build number, means the version should be different, or else what is happening? For example, if you'll see this vProfile, every time Even after 1 year, if you try to create this job, it will create the same artifact ID v1. So how will you understand this? Which version of application is being created? Or else what you need to do every time before building, you need to update the version manually. Because every time there will be new feature, a new version is getting created, right? So I cannot come here, I cannot make edit and update the version. So what I want is my version should be automatically updated. I don't want to log in and change the build number. So I'm using this variable. This is how it is going to be configured in your projects as well. It will be by default, it will create the version IDs. Okay, there is no hard coding or there is no static or fixed version. It will get changed based upon the builds. Okay, so now we were able to successfully create 3 stages. Now fourth stage is I want to store my packages in the Artifactory. Means I don't want to store in my Jenkins server. If something goes wrong, then we are going to lose everything. So we have something called Nexus. So this part Artifactory. Okay, so one such example is Nexus and another example is JFrog. So we have two different type of artifacts available. In our case, we are using Nexus Artifactory. So why do we use Nexus or JFrog?
Store that packages
Sorry,
in center. To store
store
the
the
The packages.
artifacts in central locations. Okay, now let us set up Nexus. So as discussed yesterday, we will be using multi-box configuration, right? So we will be having one server for SonarQube, one server for Nexus. So let me create one server for Nexus then. Let me go to my AWS. Or else what I will do is, as part of practice, I will not be creating one new server. I will be using SonarQube server only. Because already this is of T2 loss, right? So this is more than enough for us to run Nexus as well. Okay. Or else let me do one thing. Better to create one new instance. So if I'll go to my document, first let me check the prerequisites which are required for this. Let me go to Nexus. Guys, go on mute. Nexus installation. So we have the prerequisite is EC2 instance with Java. Okay, and then we need to follow all these steps which will help us to install Nexus 3.0.2 version. And it will be running on port number 8081, and these are the default credentials. I will be sharing this document with you guys. Okay, so yeah, so now let me go to my AWS launch instance, Nexus server. I will be using Amazon Linux 2, and I will be using T2 medium backup server, and then I will be using the existing security group. I'm not creating security groups every time, guys. I am using the same security group. Keep this as a practice. This is how you need to be using existing security groups only. And then I want a capacity, I mean the volume should be at least of 20 GB. Let me click on launch instance. So we have how many different ways to set up? Always remember that we will be having two different ways. One is by using the traditional way, by by downloading the packages, extracting them, installing everything manually. One is by using. Second one, how can we create Nexus? By using Docker container.
Docker container.
So I will be using container to set up my Nexus. I don't want to use all these steps. But in your case, I want you to set up this Nexus with the help of this document, because it will throw lot of errors. You will see lot of permission issues. You will see issues related to the users. You will see issues related to the disk space as well. So I want you guys to go through all the issues and work on debugging to read the logs to fix that issues. Okay, so let me go to Nexus. Let me connect. Sudo su -y install docker. I will be setting up with the help of docker only. Okay, now let me start my service. Start docker. Now let me go to Docker Hub and check for that image. Hub.docker. Nexus. So I will be using this Sonatype Nexus repository. Okay, which image should I take? I will be taking the latest image. This is my SonarQube. Where is my Nexus? Yeah, this is my Nexus server. So Nexus image is downloading, and then I will execute the command to run my Nexus. So which command should we use?
Docker container -IT -p.
Yes. Docker container -itd-p 8001 is the default one, so I'm using 8001. And then
Run.
oh shit, sorry. Docker container run -itd-p 8001 and then this is my image name, right? So let me use this, copy and paste. Okay, one image is been running. I can see that it is been up from last 2 seconds. So let me try to access. It 8001. It will take couple of minutes to set up our Nexus. I mean to load the complete container, to download the dependencies and to start our container. Meantime, what we can do, you can just check the status of your container. Docker. It is up from 52 seconds. Shit, yeah, 8081. I was trying to search on 8001. Port number is 8081, right? Logs 866 FNF and follow. It is still loading. Not yet started. Started now. Okay.
In port mapping, you run 8001.
Which port number I have shared? Docker PS.
You have given 8001.
Array shit. This is running on 8081 and I have passed as 8001. The default port is also not right. Okay, let me do one thing. Docker container stop. Let me stop this container because this is exposed on 8001 and also the host port. I mean the container port is also not right. So no use. Let me run this again. 8081 and let me change this to 8081. Okay, so this time hopefully this should provision. The ID of the container 641 F1F. Not 641, I think that is B. Okay, so it is still loading, starting 3.65. Okay, this time this is working. It will be accepting our request and we can see our Nexus repository is up and running. Okay, so now let me try to log into this first. Here you can see your admin user password is located in so and so location. Username is admin and then the location is this. So where should I paste this? Where should I check for this password? In Nexus server, right? Where in Nexus server? Our Nexus, it is informing us to your password is located in so and so location, similar to our Jenkins, right? So now where should I go and check? On the
Configuration.
where
Configuration.
is my Nexus server? If I'll paste this, no such file or directory. Why? Because my Nexus is running inside the container. So this file is available inside the container. I should go inside the container first. So how to log into the container?
The container EXEC XYZ.
Yes. Now, if I'll do cat Nexus data, then this is my password. Delete. Okay. So this is my password. Let me paste this password and click on sign in. Okay. So next it is asking for new password. Let me change this to admin again. Enable anonymous access means I want everyone who can access this. Okay, so what we have did, we have set up Nexus and we were able to log into our Nexus successfully. Now I want my Jenkins to know the details of Nexus. Means similarly how we have configured SonarQube server details, right? So same, I want my Jenkins to know the details of my Nexus. So what I will be doing, I will be going to my Jenkins server, go to dashboard, go to manage Jenkins. This is pretty slow. Manage Jenkins. and we need to configure in the tools, but as of now there is no tool configured for Nexus. Okay, so there is no tool configured yet. So what we need to do, we need to go to plugins and install the plugins. Available plugins. Okay, then Nexus. We have this plugin called Nexus Artifact Uploader. So let me install this plugin. So once this is installed, then we can see the Nexus server details in the system and under tools. Let me install this plugin. Why my server is very slow? I need to fix this. Okay, so once this is completed, it will take some time and it will complete. Till then, let me go to Manage Jenkins. Let me go to Tools and try to tell my Jenkins that this is the location where my Nexus is running. Okay, so let me open this. If I'll scroll down, not yet available. Let me duplicate this page because this is taking a lot of time to load, right? So let me duplicate this page. Okay, under Manage Jenkins, let me go to System Configuration now. Okay, so in System, we can see the details related to our Nexus. If I scroll down, then where is my Nexus? Looks like the plugin is not yet installed. Or else, let me check from server. Leave Jenkins. This is already installed. If you'll see these guys, so whatever plugins we are installing, we can see on the server as well. Okay, and if you'll see this is the actual plugin which has been uploaded, means the code. We can also create our own plugins as well. This will be done by the developers. Always remember the extension. The extension for the plugin is .jpi. This you can expect these questions sometimes as well. So the extension for Jenkins plugin will be .jpi. Remember this point, okay? So let me again go to my tools and let me check Nexus. If this is still not available, then what I will do is I will directly go to my Jenkins job and try to pass in my Jenkins job itself. Okay, not yet available. Let me do one thing. Let me go to my job and use that option and configure inside the job itself. Okay, let me go here, the profile. Guys, someone can share your Jenkins server details because mine Jenkins server is very slow. I need the URL and the credentials so that I can log in and I can create one job in your account. Okay, let me make these changes as well. Profile configuration. Anyone's Jenkins is up and running? No?
Launching.
Yeah, check launch, try to launch. So let me go to build steps. After my Sonar Cube, okay, I want my artifact to be pushed. Here we have this Nexus artifact uploader. Okay, so I will go here, and which version of Nexus you want to configure means you can come here and check. So our Jenkins, our Nexus version is 3.65. So let me make this change. 3. And what is the protocol we are using? So this is HTTP only, right? So we'll be using HTTP, sorry. And this is our Nexus URL. So what is our Nexus URL? This one. Let me copy. And then credentials. Credentials for what? For to log in, right? So let me click on Jenkins. Username is admin. And then the password is also admin, what I have created. And this ID I will configure as Nexus server so that I can get the details. Right. So I have configured the server details as well. And next it is asking for group ID and then version and then repository, means from where you can find the group ID. You can find the group ID from pom.xml only. This is related to which job? View profile, right? So if you go to the view profile, then you can find the group ID. So let me copy this. Okay, and then we have version. So which version of artifact do we have? We have v1. Let me store v1. And then repository means where do you want to store your artifact in Nexus? In our case, did we created any repository? No, right? So let me go here. Click on repositories, click on create repository, and here we have lot of type of repositories. Okay, so in our case we have Maven, so I will be using Maven to hosted repository, and then name of the repository will be vProfile, and then the type of artifact. So we will be having two different type of artifacts. One is release version, one is snapshot. Release means this will be the final version of our artifact. This is used for productions. Snapshot means we can expect one more version. Okay, so in our case we have two repositories, right? One is vProfile, this version is v1, this means it is a release, and we have Sabret simple customer app. Here you can see something called snapshot. So this is a snapshot version. For example, if you are creating a repository with a type called release, then you can only store the release artifacts. If you are creating a snapshot, then you can only store snapshot. So for vProfile, it is a release repository. So I will be using release. Okay. And then if I scroll down here, we have something called disable redeploy, means the artifacts cannot be uploaded again and again. Means again, if suppose again you are trying to build your job and this is trying to store the artifacts, so this option will help you not allowing it to store any artifacts. So I want to allow redeploy, means I want to deploy or store my artifact multiple times. Scroll down and click on create repository. So once this is done, here we can see this repository has been created. If I'll open this, let me copy the name and paste the name in Jenkins. Okay, and then we have the artifact section. So if I'll click here, it is asking the artifact ID, from where can I get the artifact ID? Again, from pom.xml. So here if I'll go, then we can find the artifact ID, that is vProfile, and the type of package. Which type? It is a var package, so I will be using var. Okay, this is not required. File means from which particular location your artifact is getting created. So where is our artifact getting created? It is getting created in this location. CD workspace vProfile target. So this is my location of my artifact. So I'm telling my Nexus that go to this location and sorry, let me copy this. Go to this location. In this location, you will find file, any file with the extension called var, means star means any file, and the extension of the file should be var. So I'm telling my Nexus to go here, check for this location, and then you will find your artifact. If you want, you can also copy this, or else you can use in this way. So anyway is fine, or else let me try to hard code it. Okay, so this is my location, and then click on save. So what I have did, I have passed all the details whichever were required to push the artifact to the Nexus repository. And here I have created one repository as well. As of now, if you want to see the repository contents, right? So you need to go here, browse server contents. Here you can see the repository. If you open this, nothing, no components or assets found in repository, means it is empty. This is just created, nothing is stored. Okay, so this is saved. Let me click on build now. So how many stages we have configured now? We have configured 4 different stages. One is git clone to download the source code, then SonarQube integration to check for the quality of the code, and then we have Maven compilation to compile the source code and create a package for us, and then we have the Nexus artifact stage to push the artifacts or to store the artifacts in the central location. This is what you need to answer in interviews as well. Okay, so build is successful. I'm just trying to execute one by one, so that I mean first I have configured git clone, then SonarQube, then Maven, then Nexus. Okay, so here if you see this, after SonarQube analysis, my Nexus has been started, means my Nexus stage has been started. It has checked for the profile package, and then it is trying to upload to this location. This is nothing but my Nexus repository. Okay, successful. Now if I'll refresh this page, you can see one package has been uploaded. So if you want to download this package, right, so you can use this path. Let me copy link address. Let me go to any server. Nexus, right? Let me go to my SonarQube server. This is time dot, looks like this is time dot. Let me refresh. duplicate, and then paste the URL, hit enter. So now what happened? See, vProfile -v1.var is configured, right? So this is the location of my artifact. This is how we can store the artifacts. If suppose you have changed the version, for example, let me change the version manually. Okay, let me update this to v2. Let me commit change. Okay, let me go to my job and update the configuration. Okay, configuration. I will just change the version because earlier I have used v1, right? So if we had any variables, then it would have been easy. I mean, no need to modify each and every time. But since we have hard coded, I'm just changing this. Okay, let me make this to v2, and here also this will get changed, right? So it will be v2 version. So let me save. And now let me rerun my job again. So again, what will happen? It will rerun 4 stages. Build long, build number 11. If I'll open this build, then you can see the Maven stage first, where it is creating a package for us. In interviews, they will be asking your CI pipeline and CD pipeline. This is what you need to talk, guys. Just make a habit of uttering the same words again and again, again and again. If you are not able to explain these stages, then it's of no use. Okay, here if you see this -v2, this is a new version which has been created and successfully done. If I'll refresh this page, see we have two different versions of artifacts, v1 and v2. Clear? So this is how we can store different version of artifacts. సంజయ్ ఫోన్ పెట్టేయ్. ఏం ఫోన్ చూస్తుంటావు ఆ క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నప్పుడు? Okay, so this is how we can store our artifacts. Guys, clear?
Yes.
Okay. And then what we want to do, we want to integrate Slack and email notification. Means I don't want, for example, I am from operations team, so I am managing the Jenkins. So developer is not interested in getting the access and checking the logs and everything. So what they want only the notifications. In that case, we are going to use Slack and email notification service. I hope you guys can do this, right? Will you do this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is all about our continuous integration stage or job. And then after this, what we have, we want to deploy our application, right? CD job. Okay, so CD jobs I can deploy to Tomcat. This was the old traditional deployments what we used to do. As of now, no one is deploying in Tomcat. We are deploying in Tomcat, but it is been in terms of Kubernetes or AWS, right? So we are using Docker for containerizations. Okay, and then deploy to AWS ECS, and then deploy to K8s. So we can have three different jobs. In our case, we are going to talk about this in interviews. I want you to understand this process, but try to talk about this job only, because currently we are using Kubernetes for the deployments. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to create one more job which will deploy my application to Tomcat once my continuous integration is successfully done. So let me go to my Jenkins. For that, what I will do, I will create one more server. This is for Tomcat. So in this case, I'm not going to use any server, but I will be using Nexus. I mean, already we have Nexus server, right? So I will try to set up Tomcat in the same Nexus server. Okay. So let me use this server. Prerequisite for Tomcat is Java 1.8, right? So let me install Java. Let me download Tomcat. I'll be using Tomcat version 9. I don't want to use latest versions because there might be some changes in dependencies. So I'm using Tomcat 9.0. First, let me set up this Tomcat and then we can go for deployment. Guys, mug up these stages, mug up all these stages. Because in every interview they are interested in our CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so let me try to download Tomcat or XVF Apache Tomcat. Okay, Apache Tomcat. Now let me first try to do the deployment manually. Okay, or else let me do one thing. Let me run my Tomcat first. CD shit. Let me run my Tomcat first. CD opt Apache Tomcat bin, and then we have bash startup.sh. You want to create service file, you can create, but in my case I don't want to create anything because already you are aware of that process, right? So I will just try to do the deployment now. 8080. Okay, this is working. Now let me just try to do the deployment manually. Where to deploy? In web apps. From where you can get the package? From Nexus. Let me copy this version 2, latest version I want to deploy. Copy link address and download. This is the manual deployment. Manually, this is how we can deploy. Okay, this has been extracted. So let me try to access this page and see our application. And then you can see there is some login page. See, our application is up and running. Okay, so our application is up and running now. If you want to click on login, you can click on sign up, then you can go for the registrations and all. Okay, if you want to go to the blogspot, so we have a couple of pages. So I got this code from Google, so we have been using this. Okay, so now we know that, okay, our application, if I'm trying to do it manually, this is working. So my requirement is to create a pipeline for my application. So let me delete these files, whatever I have downloaded. Okay, now we don't have any deployment. Let me open my Tomcat. So we have something called users in Tomcat. If you remember that part, initially we have created users in Tomcat. Yes or no? Means manager app, access denied. So we have created users in Tomcat. Yes or no? Did you guys created users?
No, sir.
Why?
Created in server.x.
Why you haven't created? We
No.
had a task to create users in Tomcat, right? That's what we always want you guys to work on task. We'll go to our repository. Let me show you something. This is what you need to answer in interviews as well, guys. If you're not working on this, okay, Tomcat service file, Apache and all. Mhm. We do have the task where we are supposed to create the users in Tomcat. Okay, so how to create that users? Let's do this document. Tomcat installation. Okay, so checkpoint Apache Tomcat. Okay, update user information in Tomcat users.xml file. Okay, before that we need to execute this. Okay, so what is happening is you are able to access your Tomcat, but even in Tomcat we can create different users. If we have that user, then only you can deploy your application on Tomcat, or else it will not allow you to deploy. For example, if I'm clicking on host manager, then this should ask for user credentials and it should show us the page. So as of now we don't have any access. So how to create users in Tomcat?
Go to user.xml and create a GUI, manager GUI.
So what we can do is, this is my Tomcat configuration. Here we have something called Tomcat users.xml, but before doing this we need to disable some values as well. Okay, here we have something called, say, find, first execute this command. We have one file called context.xml. Okay, so first we need to go to this file. Okay, this context.xml file is available in many locations, but out of this I am interested something related to web apps only. Means these files, 4 files. So what I will do, I will go open the VA editor, copy, paste the first path. Here we have some values which needs to be disabled. I mean this part we need to, this block we need to comment this one, or else it will not allow us to create the users. So how to add comments? For using this one and -- redirection. Okay, and then again second location. First one is done. Second one, let me open. Okay, and then third location. Four locations are almost done. So I have commented all the 4 value class names when I have commented them. Okay, so once this is done, then let me go to, where is my document? Let me go to the Tomcat users.xml file, which is available in the conf location. Okay, here we have one file called Tomcat users. Let me open this. Shit, not this one. This file here, you can see this already. They have provided some details, but this is also still in commented. Okay, so let me come to this line and let me use these details. Okay, let me copy this. Let me paste this. So here we have created different roles for our Tomcat, and this is the one what I'm going to use. I mean the username is deployer and then the password is also deployer, and we have 3 different users: admin, deployer and Tomcat. So let me save this and then let me try to restart my Tomcat. As .sh bash startup.sh. Okay, so my Tomcat has been restarted. If I'll refresh this page and if I'll click on server status, this time it is asking for username and password. Okay, if I'll execute this, see, you'll get all the details related to your Tomcat on the graphical user interface as well. If you want to deploy your application without from CLI, you can use this, see, Tomcat web application manager, and you can deploy. See, select where file to upload. You can just choose file, downloads, have the sample word dot where it is available. Let me remove this space. Okay, so this is my okay. Let me do one thing. Okay, even we can deploy our application manually from graphical user interface. See, if I click this, I can access my application. So that's the benefit of creating users. Now what we have did is we have successfully created the users. Now I want to automatically deploy my application. I don't want to use this manual interface. I want to deploy it with from Jenkins. Okay, so let me go to Jenkins. First, let me go create new job. I'll try to finish this up in next 10 minutes. Okay, so bear with me for next 10 more minutes. So I'm working on deploy to Tomcat job. Okay, so B profile CD job freestyle. Okay, okay, in build steps you should find one plugin. I mean, we need to install one plugin to deploy to container plugin to deploy to Tomcat. Okay, so as of now we don't have that. That's the reason we are unable to see anything. Let me duplicate my page. Let me go to plugins again. Manage Jenkins. Plugins. Available plugins. Okay, here we have something called deploy to container. This plugin is used to deploy your package in any of the application server. So let me install this. Okay, it is taking some time to load. Let us wait. Let me check here. Jenkins plugins deploy to container, right? So let me go in D. Here we have something deploy. This is still loading. Let me refresh. Okay, so this plugin is installed successfully. Let me go to my job then. Okay, view profile CD. Okay, let me go to configuration. Let me go to the configurations. It is taking a lot of time. Okay, and then build steps. Okay, we have something here. Deploy wire or EAR to a container means this is coming under post build actions. Means once our build is done, then we are supposed to deploy, right? So this part will comes under post build actions. So just select this. So I will be using this star. Means any file with the extension called var. Okay, context path and all not required. Containers. So which one we are using? Tomcat 9 version. Okay, so Tomcat 9 credentials, we haven't created any credentials, so let me create. The username is This one deployer, and the password is also deployer. So let me use this. Tomcat-server. Let me copy and let me paste. Click on add. Okay, and then Tomcat URL means where is our Tomcat configured. So this is my Tomcat URL. Let me copy and let me paste. HTTP. Okay. Okay. So what I have did, I have said my Tomcat that check any package with the extension called var and try to use the credentials, and this is the URL, and deploy in this location. But before doing this, my Tomcat, I mean this job will try to check for the package, right? So where is this package available? This package is not available anywhere. So I will be adding just one execute shell, wget command, and then the path, this one. Why? Because this should be available in the same workspace. Okay. So first what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to download the package from Nexus, and then this package is been deployed to Tomcat. Let me click on save. Let me just try to run this single job and first do the testing properly. Click on build now. Let us see what will happen. First job, it will try to download the package from Nexus, first stage, and then second stage is to do the deployment for us. Okay, here you can see success, and if I scroll up, see what happened. This has downloaded the packages, and then it deployed the package in our particular location. So let us go to our Tomcat cd ls cd web apps ls. Okay, we can see there is something called vProfile which is been deployed. Means our job is running successfully. We are able to deploy our application as well. So now what I will do, I will integrate these two jobs. Means if my first job is successfully completed, then only my CD should be deployed. If my first job is failed, my CD should not get triggered. For that, what we can configure?
Upstream and downstream.
Yes, we have upstream and we have downstream job. So what I will do is I will try to configure one upstream job for my CD. Okay, I will go to my CD. I will go to the configurations. Configurations. Build other projects. Okay, I need to go here, right? See, So I will go to my CI job, that is vProfile, and in this job I will configure that it should build other jobs as well if this is successfully completed. Okay, vProfile CD and then save. Okay, so what will happen now? Whenever a user or a developer or a operations guy, whenever there is a change in the new feature or new update, so what he will do? He will come to this Jenkins based upon the maintenance window. He will log into the Jenkins and he will click on build now. Okay, once this job is executing all the stages, 6 stages, that is clone, SonarQube, Maven, Nexus, Slack, email, then it will trigger our continuous deployment job, that is CD job. And then what that CD job will do, that CD job will execute 2 stages. Here if you see this, once this is completed, then it will execute vProfile CD automatically. And if CI is continuous integration is successfully done, then only continuous delivery will be triggered, or else it will not be triggered. That's how we have configured, right? So done, then see vProfile CD is been getting executed. So how many stages we are running here? 2 stages. One is to download the artifact from Nexus. Second is to deploy the application. If you'll see here, our application is deployed. That's how we are going to execute our continuous integration and continuous deployment. So continuous integration job is same. Continuous deployment job we have completed one. So we are going to work on these 2 jobs. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think I have taken a lot of time. So let me stop this recording. Guys, go for break.